Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for Coffee and Cards Live. Good morning to you. I am here at a slightly different time today. I am also noticing that my tripod is definitely becoming a bit of an issue, and it seems to be a bit unstable. Let's see if I can sort this out. Let's do that first. Before I lose you all, let's put a weight on there. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. We should be good. Let's put a great big weight on there. Okay, good. Good enough. Good enough. There we go. So good morning to you. I hope you are well. I have a slightly different time today. It's the Easter holidays. My children are home from university and school, and the schedule's all different, and I still wanted to come live. Good morning, Wendy. How are you? Lovely to have you join me. Thanks so much. Yeah, because Friday was Good Friday, so I wasn't here at all. And I thought I would come a little bit earlier to you today. So I thought I would play with the Irresistible Blooms today. This is a really pretty stamp set. And I've been mulling over in my brain what card I was going to make. And there's a technique that I haven't done for such a long time called the emboss-resist technique. And I thought this would be ideal to play. So I had a little play, and I've come up with something for the live today. I hope you like it, and we'll have a little go. And it might be something that you could try at home if you haven't done this for a while as well. So love this stamp set. It's part of a whole suite. It has dies that cut all of these bits out. It has beautiful papers that go along with it that you can also cut out using those dies. And it has these little pretty frosted dots that are super gorgeous as well. I'm just going to be playing with a stamp set today. It is an online one. It's not in the catalogue. So it's called, if you're looking for it, it's called Irresistible Blooms, and the product number is 161140. But if you just look up Irresistible Blooms in my online shop, you'll find it. So this one is not on the retiring list, so you'll still be able to get hold of that if you like it. I'm thinking you could use this technique with plenty of stamp sets though. How are you, Wendy? I hope you're well. I'm just going to look on my laptop, see if I can see my live so that I can answer any comments that come through. Let's have a little looky-see. So welcome if you're watching me live. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what the weather's doing. It's bright and shiny here. I think we've got some rain forecast later, but it's pretty good. So far, so good. So I've picked out some sorbet. It's called Sweet Sorbet cardstock. It's one of our in colours, our current in colours, not the brand new in colours that are coming. This is one of our current in colours, 2022 to 2024 in colours, Sweet Sorbet. So I've got the ink pad out, I've got the cardstock out. So I thought I'd try that as a nice bright colour. I've got some of my watercolour paper out. I'm going to use a piece of that. Let's move that to the side. Wendy says, life's good, a bit chaotic, but I think it is for most people. Oh, absolutely madness. Wendy is mad. Everywhere, everyone. Our life is fast, isn't it, these days, compared to what it was like moons ago when I was a child. Life is quick. I think we just have to do with it what we wish. Hello, Hazel. Good morning to you. Good morning. I love being live in the mornings. Absolutely love it. I'm so used to saying good afternoon at Coffee and Cards, so it's nice to say good morning. Good morning to you. So my card base today is very vanilla, and I only chose the vanilla instead of the white because I'm using the watercolour paper and it tones a little better than the white, which is very bright. It's beautiful, but it's very white. So this is the white. You can see the difference, and this is vanilla. But really, if you just have the white, go with it. It's fine. Let's put the light on. How's that? Can we see a bit better now? Okay, so this is where we're at now. I thought I'd just start from the very beginning and cut it from scratch so you can see how I make it. So my card base, if I cut my... The reason I'm not cutting this live is because I had it already. I didn't want to waste it. But it should be half a piece of cardstock. So it should be 14.8 Yeah, scored in half at 10.5 centimetres. So that's a UK A4 size, scored and cut in half. Then my layer, I'm going to take the sweet sorbet and put it to 14.3 and cut it all the way down. That means I can get a couple of these out of this side, that to the side. And so that's 14.3 by 10, half a centimetre smaller on two sides. So that will then be slightly smaller for my card, like that. And then another half a centimetre for this one. So this one needs to be 13.8 by 9.5. Oh, I didn't cut it very well. There we are. 9.5. I love this watercolour paper. It's such good quality. It's supplied by Stampin Up. It's called the Fluid 100 paper. Really, really nice. 100% cotton. It's a very nice paper. So there's our bits and bobs that we need. Okay, but we're going to be stamping on this one. So let me put my pieces to the side. Okay. How are you, Hazel? I hope you're well. So here's our piece. Oh, look at that. Thank you. So, lovely husband who's working from home. Coffee and card. He's brought me my coffee. How nice is that? So do excuse me while I'm drinking my coffee along with you. It's very rude, but it is coffee and cards. Have you got your coffee or your tea or your drink, guys? Have you got it? So I'm using the Irresistible Blooms stamp set just to make a fun card for a friend. But you can make any card you like, you know, for whatever occasion you want. I just want to demonstrate the technique using this beautiful set. Oh, Hazel, I'm so sorry you've got a sore throat and a head cold. But you are just making your coffee. I completely empathise. My son had this most horrendous cold. The worst cold I've ever seen him have, poor chap. Bless him. And it knocked him sideways. But then a couple of weeks later, I got it. And it really knocked the stuffing out of me for a couple of weeks. So I'm just starting to feel a bit more normal now. Okay, so I'm going to use these beautiful florals. These two flowers to start with. And I'm going to use the emboss-resist technique. So I've got a couple of the flowers. And when I say emboss, I'm going to be doing a little bit of heat embossing. So bring in my embossing buddy. This is part of our embossing additions toolkit. It's absolutely invaluable. If you use this and just rub it over your card or paper before you emboss, it takes off any like greasy fingerprints or anything that's been picked up on the paper, which oils off your hands, because then when you put your embossing powder on, it'll only stick to the embossing ink and not those kind of little marks, and it'll make such much crisp emboss image. I don't know if that was English. I hope you understood what I meant. So look at this. Do you know what? I think I've had this since I started in 2016. How terrible is that? Now, I do have a brand new one. I'm loath to open it because I have a re-inker and I keep re-inking it. And it's really lived its life and it's amazing. I think the time has come though, guys, to let go. You know, things do have a shelf life. They do have a life, don't they? Oh, Hazel, your throat and head cold is due to being stressed and run down as you're very busy with work. It would not surprise me at all. You know, when we get really super busy and life gets bonkers, our immunity goes down a little bit, and then we pick up all the nasties that are going around. Do look after yourself if you can a little bit. I've started taking some multivitamins. My only problem is I've got to remember to take them. That's a reminder for today because I've forgotten already. I start off with great intentions. Okay, so I think I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle. I like that. Now I'm going to do a fair bit of this, but I'm going to do one at a time, which might seem a bit tedious, but you'll see why. It means that I can get my my placement right for my image. Okay, so this is white embossing powder. Now, I've got the additions kit, which has this cute little tray with a screw lid that you can use. is here, and it's fabulous. You can see I've been using it. And you pour it back into the container. However, I do like to keep my white in this one so it doesn't get contaminated, because I'm not very good at cleaning my other tray, and then any stray bits will get into my white. So that's why I do my white separately in an old, like, kind of plastic container. Right, I can actually see that I've got a little bit of stray embossing powder there, so just get rid of that. I think I just pressed too hard with my stamp. Okay, because it was like a halo. Right, I'm going to heat it with a heat tool. Just set it, and you'll see it change. It'll go a kind of glossy set finish to it. So do let me know where you're watching from, guys, and what's up with you. The sun is definitely shining here, so you can see this changing. And you'll be able to see the image a lot better in a minute when I colour it. Because at the moment, we've got white on white, and you're not seeing very much on the video, to be fair. But you can if I do that. Oh, my word, you can't see anything. Okay, but I can, and in a minute you'll see more. So what I'll do is I'll start off with a little bit of colouring and give you the idea of what I'm going to do. I have picked out a couple of colours. I've picked out Daffodil and Sweet Sorbet. And I have brought in, oh, it's cloudy with rain at the moment in Plymouth. Well, I hope it clears up for you. I have brought in my water painter. So these come in a pack of 3 with all different sized brushes on the end. So there's a very big one if you want to do large areas. There's like a medium one here, which is really useful. You can see I've used that one a fair bit. And then there's a finer one, which I'm using today. So a water painter is like a water brush. It has a chamber that you put the water in, so that you don't have to, it's a paintbrush. You don't have to add water along in a jar with it. Okay, and I'm going to use my ink pads as a paint palette. So you can do it like this. You can squeeze your ink pad lid into it so you get a nice blob of ink there. Or if that's a bit too stiff, you could always use your re-inker. Put a couple of drops of re-inker on an acrylic block and use it as a paint palette. Also, some people don't like using the lid of their ink pad because it looks a bit messy. I actually don't mind, and I will also go back with a baby wipe and clean it out later, so that's not so bad. So I thought I'm going to go in the middle of mine with yellow, and I'm going to do the outer petals into the Sweet Sorbet and see what we come up with. But this is how the emboss-resist works. So this is embossed in here, and it makes my watercolouring very simple because all I have to do is watercolour over the top. Do you see? And then where the embossed image is, it doesn't pick it up. So it leaves the outline. But where just the plain paper is, it will pick up the ink. Makes very simple watercolouring. All right. Oh, I meant to bring in a paper towel, but I do have my chamois next to me that will do the same thing. So I've just cleaned that. I've just wiped it on my chamois so it's clean. And I'm going to go in with this one. You can see I've already been playing with it. And the more water you squeeze through the chamber into your palette, the less vibrant your colour will be. So you get more of a wash, which is what I'm looking for this. So I'm going to go up to the edge of the image, and I can see that. And I'm just going to fill it in. Now, I've not really tried this colourway, but we're giving it a go. And I'm going to go all the way around. I'm not worried about the fact that I'm getting it on the embossing part because it just resists it. And I am going to mix it in with the yellow. So we're going to go around. And keeping it in the lines is the beauty of the embossing because it kind of resists it all. So I have this really pretty flower. There we go. And this is the beauty of having it on the watercolor paper, because I can add water and I can add watercolor to it. Okay, so I'm going to go back in now with the yellow, and I'm going to try and blend it together so I don't get any harsh lines. Kind of makes it a little bit orangey at the edges, which I like. Such a simple technique, just using your ink pads and some watercolor paper and a water painter. So I think that's really pretty. Right, okay, so there's our first flower. I'm going to shut these up so I don't stick my hand in them, and I'm going to do it a couple more times. Okay, so I've got the smaller flower here, and I am going to emboss those as well. Tell me if you have done this technique before. I'd love to know. It's been a long time since I've done it. I'm very excited because I'm currently waiting for all my new colours from Stampin Up to arrive. So if you're a demonstrator, you'll know that we are currently in pre-order for the new annual catalogue, but also having a colour refresh. So we've got loads of new colours, and demonstrators can pre-order them. So I'm very excited. Hazel, you haven't done it yet, but you're going to try on Thursday when you're on a day off. That's a great idea. I have to say, I find it very relaxing crafting, and it really does help, whatever kind of crafting you're doing. Now, the other thing that I should note is that it's probably very important to leave this to dry before you put your embossing powder on, because it's going to stick to your wet ink. So I think I might bring in my brush, which is about somewhere, or I have the Embossing Additions brush, or I could just use my little brush. Does this have any? It might have water in it, which would not be a plant. No, it's dry. So just take that off there. And then give it a blow. There we are. So make sure your ink is dry before you go back in and re-put new embossing on. Oh dear. Right, let's set this one. You've not tried it, Wendy. Give it a go. It's a bit of fun. Any of your sets it will probably work with. Anything that you can colour in. I was going to use Mango Melody for my ink, but then I remembered that it's one of our retiring colours. So because we're having a colour refresh, excuse me, I'm going to have a drink. And I think it's now out of stock, so I didn't want to bring in a colour that we couldn't use. So I went for the yellow and the sorbet. I went for daffodil and sorbet, and I think that works really well. We have got some great colours coming. Have you seen the new in colours for this year? Tell me if you've seen them. I have posted them on my Facebook page and my Instagram. I think I have. Pretty sure I posted everything when it all came out, when it was all announced. They're interesting colours, actually. They're a lot of neutral kind of colours. And I love it because we're having a colour refresh. I feel that they've made the in colours this year ones that would slide into our whole colour spectrum really well. Or you're going to get them next month. Hazel, are you? That's great. Yeah, I like them. So I'm hoping that when mine arrive, I'll be able to show you them up close and personal. So let's go in with the yellow. Yeah, they're kind of like muted. They're not bright, but I think they're going to slide into the palette really nicely, interestingly. It'll be fun to see. I'm all about the colour spectrum. We've got some really nice new colours. I'm quite excited. In fact, I'm a bit sad that it hasn't all arrived yet. We do have the option to expedite our shipping. And with the Easter holidays, obviously, with the bank holidays, all the shipping was, is waiting. But I just got to be patient. I didn't want to expedite it because, there's no rush. I just want it. I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, a little bit of red. So I couldn't justify expediting shipping over some new colours, but because it's just going to come, isn't it? And that's our problem as well, isn't it? Everything has to be instant and now, and really it doesn't have to be. But I'm very excited anyway. It should not be long. Yes, it is 10 to 12 days delayed due to the Easter break. Yeah, Hazel, I saw that too. I'm really not too worried about it because, it'll come when it comes. It'll be fine and we're all in the same boat. We'll all be excited when it comes. But I'm just a bit, I want it now. Right, so I got my red. I love this. And you know what? It's not like we don't have enough to play with. We have so much to play with. Right, I'm just going to go around. Filling it all in. Like that. Making sure I've got to the edge. And that's what I like about the watercolour is that, you can carry on adding colour and water and blending it until you get exactly how you want it to look. It's so pretty. So pretty. Right, I'm going to go back in with the yellow to blend it. No, I know you're not worried either, Hazel. No, I know. It's probably me. I'm just a bit like, oh, I want my things because I'm so excited to see all the new colours. But it will come, won't it? And we'll be able to see it all. Oh, excuse me, Alfie. That's just the children next door. Sit down. So Alfie's in the craft room, as he always is when we're live. And because the children are off on their Easter holidays, the children next door like to run around and play with the children who live behind. So they go across the front of the house on the pavement there. And he's like, why are you on the pavement there? He's woofing away. He just wants to play with them, though. He's super friendly. He's a very silly dog. So, am I sad that some of the colours are retiring? Quite possibly. I kind of learned on the last colour refresh, to be honest, though. I am a little bit sad that we're losing Mint Macaron, Mango Melody, and Sahara Sand and Soft Suede. I'm a little bit sad, but I kind of learned on the last colour refresh a few years ago that it wasn't long after all the new colours came out. I couldn't even remember which colours had retired. So I couldn't have been that bothered. I'm so fickle. I am so fickle. I'm terrible. Right, I'm having another drink. So I'm not very good at colouring in. But you can see there that the embossed lines have kept it in the lines. So I don't really have to be very clever at it. That's the beauty of this technique. Right, I'm going to do the same with the leaves. I come in with a nice green. So I think I'm going to put leaves there. That's the 3 leaves. Then there's a 2 leaf. And I'm going to put those here. And here. And I think I'm going to put another one in. I'm going for it now. Pop it in there like that. And then grab the embossing powder in and hope that my ink has dried. Oh, my husband's going up. Okay. Here we go. So there's that. If not, I'll go back over it with my brush again. So I can see my leaves. You might not be able to see them as well because it's white on white, but you will in a minute. Right, okay, so that's looking fabulous. Fabulous. Let's grab this brush and make sure I get any kind of embossing powder off where it's strayed. There we go. That should do it. Right. Dog's gone to sleep on my cable. You can't do that, Alf. Oh, that's right. He was going out for lunch with his friend on his lunch break. That's what he was doing. Okay. Some of the inspiration for the colours that I'm using today came from the blanket I've been crocheting that I finished over the weekend. Some of you that follow me on my personal page, my Instagram, at Mrs. Kate Bolt, or I did have it in my Inkstampshare stories too, or on my Facebook, you may see my blanket that I've crocheted. Now I've had that on the hook for a long time. Absolutely beautiful colours. And I completed it over the Easter break. Absolutely beautiful colours. It's a really gorgeous blanket. It was a free pattern by Lucy from Attic 24. And it was not my design or anything like that, but I had so much fun making it. The colours are so beautiful and so vibrant. And I was taking some inspiration from Lucy's blanket that I made, the Aria. So if you want to see that, I think I posted it in the group as well. Inkstampshare your craft group. I definitely posted it in there. So it's about. You can find it if you're interested in that. Okay, so I was going to go for Parakeet Party, but I ended up with green ink. I ended up with Granny Apple Green, one of my favourite colours. You're making the same blanket for your grandson. He chose it from a black and white image. And then, the Join As You Go is great. Yeah, I love the Join As You Go. It was my first time doing the Join As You Go when I did this. And I was a little bit apprehensive. It's actually a very simple technique once you've worked it out. So I was quite pleased. So this blanket is very colourful. And it's granny squares in crochet. So very simple. And then she gives you a very clear tutorial the join as you go method of joining the granny squares as you go along. So you don't have to make all these millions of granny squares and then at the end join them all together. It's done. The only thing to do is do your ends as you go, darn your ends in, so that you don't have all those at the end too. And that's what I did, and I was very thankful. So, and I loved making it. So now on to the next one. So I'm a paper crafter. That's what I do, clearly. However, in the evenings, keeping my hands busy, I sometimes like to crochet. Now, my blanket, I bought it a very long time ago as a kit, and I will pick it up. I'll do a little bit, and then I won't do any for a few months. It sits in a bag, and that's absolutely fine with me. I just pick it up occasionally, have so much pleasure from making it. There's never a race for me. The pleasure is the making it, and I did have a lovely ta-da moment of finishing it, but for me the main thing is the pleasure of the making of it. So there's no like hurry, and I'm not one of these people who goes, oh no, I've got so many work in progress, this is awful. It's not, you know, it's a hobby. I enjoy it. I just love it. It doesn't matter at all. And so my next one is, my son saw it and said, Mom, I'd really like one of those in 70s vintage colours. So I'm going to recreate it. I've already chosen all the colours and ordered the yarn. We chose them together, and I've ordered my yarn, so hopefully that won't take too long and I can recreate it. I think it's because, you know, aren't granny squares very 70s and vintage anyway? I think it's going to look so nice. And then I've also ordered some yarn for me to make another blanket, because I'm looking forward to playing with the 70s vibe colours. They are beautiful. There's lots of earth tones, and there's some burnt orange, and there's some teal and creams. But I really want to create with some brighter colours as well. So I'm going to have two on the go this time. One for the family and one for my son. So, yeah. How do you view your work in progress? Does it bother you that you have unfinished pieces of work? Doesn't bother me in the slightest. It would be interesting to know how you perceive it. So I am going over these leaves that just have the only space for it to pick up the ink is the vein, if you like. I'm going over those now. I could just rub it with a kitchen towel and it would take off all of this green and just leave the veins. But I quite like to be able to see what I'm painting and what's left behind. So I'm going to leave mine green. And I find that if you're painting like this and you hold your image into the light, you can see the embossing reflected. So whilst it's white and it's hard to see, it's probably a lot easier for me to see it here than you can see it at home. There we go. So there's our pretty image. Emboss-resist. How much fun is that? So yeah, I took some of the inspiration for the colours from my Aria blanket. So Hazel says she has a cross stitch that you started in 2010, and as it's on Black Ida, it's definitely a work in progress. Absolutely, absolutely. Why should we worry about these things? Why should we feel pressured to finish something? You know, you'll finish it one day and you'll be very pleased with it. There we go. So I think picking up the strawberry sorbet, is it called that? I get this mixed up every time. Sweet sorbet. Even though we've had these colours for a year in the cardstock, I think that works. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that and pop it on. Sweet sorbet. I know, it's just that colour that gets me. Because I want to call it strawberry. Yeah, he'll get it when it's done, if it's for your son, Hazel. Absolutely. There we go. Although I will probably, because I've made this aria blanket once, it'll be a lot quicker to make a second time, I think. And also because I'm making it for someone, I probably will carry on and just make it instead of picking it up and putting it down this time, just because he's put his order in. That's probably the only reason. But my one I'm making for myself, there'll be no hurry about that whatsoever. Right, so I really like this. I think this is really, really pretty. I am going to choose a sentiment. I don't know whether to put the hello there. You can see how I was playing with the ink there on the watercolour. Let's get the hello out. I did my sample one differently, but I think I'm going to go for the hello. Hello, hello. I've also got the bits that I cut off. These are really useful. Keep these bits for your sentiments. I need a little block. Let's grab one. Yes. Hello. Oops. Let's have if I stuck it on there. Now, what colour am I going to do? Sweet sorbet, I think, or I could do it in the green. I think I might do it in the green, and I might show you a trick to make you can emboss any colour you like. All right, so I'm going to grab in my clear embossing powder, which is in here. This is the clear. These come with a kit. These reverse tweezers, they're very cool. Okay, so I am going to get this ready, get it open. I'm going to stamp with the Granny Apple. And if you stamp with your ink straight onto watercolour, you may find that it kind of is a bit textured, if you see what I mean. This is why I'm going to emboss it, make it pop a little bit. So if you're really quick with your clear embossing powder while the ink is still wet, it will stick. I'm very clumsy today. So I'm going to emboss that. Let's give it a go. And you'll see it'll make it pop a little bit and shine. There we are. So it's a little bit brighter now and shiny. And let's have a look. So the layering circles are retiring. How sad is that? Now I have the original layering circles that Stampin' Up brought out. I believe they're the original. Just after I joined, look at the state of them. I've used them to death for every class imaginable and they're still going strong. And then not long after I joined, they reinvented and brought out a new layering circles. Well, I couldn't really see the point in buying exactly the same set, so I've stuck with the ones I've got. Look how many dies are in there. They're fantastic. You've got the scallops and you've got these. Now, they're retiring and I'm a bit sad. However, I'm sure new goodies will distract us from the fact that these are retiring. We have new circle punch. So we're going to have 3 circle punches available, which is very useful. We've also got many other layering shape dies as well, and some new ones in the new catalogue. So I don't think we're really going to miss the circles, but I am not getting rid of mine, and they are on their list. You can get them in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net. I'm sure they're still available now. I hope they are. I would, if you're considering getting them, I wouldn't leave it though, because it's the kind of thing that will go. I don't know whether to make a scalloped circle to go on there or just do a circle. But look how many there are. So many. We've got hello. And then we've got that one. I think we'll go for a scalloped one. Yeah, That's super useful. I won't be getting rid of mine. Right, I'm going to pop it through the die cutting machine. Let's grab it. I should have brought my little one out. This one is fine. Okay. Here we are. I'm going to die cut it. So die cut the hello. It just fits on that small circle. Pop it through. Ooh. Would help if I didn't sit my die cutting machine on top of my ink pad, wouldn't it? I don't think that's really very clever. And then I've got to decide if I want to put another colour behind it. Let me move it a sec. So I've got the hello. And I might put some sweet sorbet behind it. Let's have a look at what have we got. How big is that? That's very large, isn't it? I don't want one that is that large. Honestly, my words aren't working. What's new? That might be the next size up. That one's quite large. Is that one the size? I don't know. See, I wasn't prepared because I wasn't going to do this. So let's just cut out a circle and hope for the best. I've lost the other acrylic block pad now. Where are you, acrylic plate? It always confuses me when you have something in your hand for literally a second and you can't find it again. Right, here we go. This one might be too small, to be fair. It looks very tiny. Yes, that's too small. I think it should have been the other way around. Right, I need the next size up. So this one goes in that one. Let's have a look. And then that one. Because there's another one, isn't there? Ooh, what have I done with that one? Oh, there it is. It's stuck to the magnet, which is really what we want it to do. Okay, that's the size, is it? Yeah, because that's the size I've just cut out. So many circles. I think we're going for this one. Right, okay, this should work. Yeah, hello. Hello. Right, let's move all those and I can put those away. Do I like it? I'm not even sure if I like it now. I've got took all that time to cut it out. Okay. Maybe. Maybe it should be Granny Apple Green. No. Okay, I'm abandoning this, guys, because I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go with what I did on my sample one, and I used a completely different stamp. And I used I like the Hooray It's Your Day, but I used this one. It says, I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. And that is what I used, and that's what I'm going to do this time. So let's go with that. Couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. And I'm going to do it on my spare piece of Fluid 100 watercolour paper that we use. This is the scrap piece. I am going to stamp it in the green. Clear embossing powder over the top. And then we'll pull that back in a minute so we can use it again. And just, this is so much easier than die cutting. I have to say the circle dies are super useful. Oh, Wendy, thanks for catching me live, my lovely. And for giving me a like. Thank you for that. That really helps my channel. If you do enjoy the video, do give me a like. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. It helps me loads. It helps get the videos suggested to people who might be interested in it. Thanks, Wendy. I hope you're well, my love. So happy that you caught me live. Take care. Right, here we go. Yeah, that's done. Right, okay. We'll use that little hello that I've stamped and die cut for a different project because I like it. I just wasn't feeling it there. All right, so trimmer, where are you? So let's just cut that off. And that one. There. A little bit off the bottom, but not too much. There we go. So that's what I want. What I really, really want. That's what I want. Okay, I couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. That's what I wanted. And I'm going to grab my scissors, just any scissors. And I'm just going to make this on the angle because I really like that. It just makes it look a bit more interesting. And I'm going to pop it up on some dimensional foam pads to make it pop. Yes, which is what I did with my original. Why I can't stick to what I made, I don't know. Oh, there we are. Such a beautiful flower and leaf set though. Really lends itself, I think, to this technique. So here we go. I'm going to pop that here. It would make a great birthday card as well. Couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. Now, I did bring in the linen thread. I was considering doing a linen thread. Have I got some ready? Yeah, I've got 2 pieces here. I don't know if they're big enough. A little bow on there, which I'll have a look and see what I think. There we go. Just do it as it is. Like that. Like so. And obviously I'll trim the tails. Right, a glue dot. That's what I've got to find. I've got some of these. These will do. I like these. A lot of people don't like them. They come with the they come with the kits and I love them. I think they're brilliant. Some people don't. I don't know why that is. Oh, all my scissors are not around as well. Do you know what? I've only been crafted a few times since all my last classes. That's very weird. So just take the ink, the glue dot off and stick it to the back of the bow. Pop it on. Wonder where my snips are. Where are you, snips? No idea. So couldn't be happier to have you as my friend. And then I showed you the dots. Where are you, dots? The dots that come as part of this suite are so pretty. These are called the loose frosted dots, and they literally are, but look how many you get, millions. And they come in the daffodil, they come in floaty flamingo, and they come in this not brand new, returning in colour of pretty peacock, which is really beautiful. I think I'm going to put a couple of those on there. And I think I'm going to pick out the yellow. So, and they come in a couple of different sizes. I think there are 3 different sizes in there. And they're so nice. Hi, Helen. How are you, my lovely? Say hello to Teddy for me. I have got, it's very late, but I have got, Teddy is my great nephew, guys. And my sister is watching with him. Tell Teddy that I'm going to have to pop round at some point because I have got an Easter egg here for him. So the Easter bunny left it here for him. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm just deciding what kind of size I want. And I think I'm going for a couple of small ones and a large one there. So, I haven't used my glue in forever. So let's see if it's flowing on a piece of scrap. I've really not been in my craft room over Easter. Right. So a tiny bit of glue. I've been itching to get back in. There we go. I got some really beautiful handmade Easter cards this year. I will post those at some point on my Instagram. Really beautiful. That's the plus of being a Stampin' Up demo. That's another plus, is that we do tend to send a lot of hand stamped cards to each other. There's nothing better, is there, than getting some happy mail. Ooh, I think we've forgotten the art of sending cards, especially as the postage is so high. I think it really puts people off, but you know what? I think it is so well worth it. I'd rather send somebody a card or get a really beautiful card in the post than go out and buy a cup of coffee in a coffee shop. I don't know about you. So yeah, I think it's worth it, guys. Right, sweet sorbet. And I couldn't be happier to have a friend, you as my friend. And there's another stamp in there that goes really well that says, I like you. So we're going to go with the sweet sorbet. I'd like to get this through the post, wouldn't you? I like you. And let's have a look. Let's do, and I'm not going to stamp the flower because in the ink, because it was not going to be the same as on the front. So I think I'll go with some of the leaves. That's it, in Granny Apple Green. Where are you, Granny Apple? You moved. Yes, and then I'll show you the one I made as a sample. So, bringing it up like that. Like so. I like you, and then you've got room to write inside. How pretty is that? I'm loving this card. And that has all dried on that watercolour paper, and that emboss-resist is such a simple technique that anyone can do because you don't have to be able to colour and keep in the lines. It keeps you in the lines because of the embossing. Yeah, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So I'm near an hour, so I'm not going to attempt to make another card today. It's been a long old one. We've had a good chat. It's been really lovely. I've loved hanging out with you guys. This was my sample. My first one I just made in the Sweet Sorbet colour. Exactly the same way as I did this, but I just did Sweet Sorbet ink, Granny Apple Green, and I made it in exactly the same way. I did stamp some of the Sweet Sorbet flowers inside. And this one, well, you saw me make this one, and I've used Daffodil Delight and the Sweet Sorbet, and it's kind of given this lovely orange colour, and I've put some linen thread and some of the dots on there. And that's it. Such a simple technique. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you like this stamp set, it is still available. This one is not going away. It's available in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net, where all the products I've used are available. And yeah, if you place an order with me, I will send you a thank you gift and a thank you card. Thank you so much for joining me. Hoping I'll be with you on Friday for my live. Actually, I'm going away on Friday. So I won't be live, but I will be posting some projects up on my Instagram and my Facebook page, and probably over on my blog at inkstampshare.ink. So if you like some more inspiration, hop over there. There's loads over there to see, and you can find all the links to everything there too. So thanks for joining me. If you join me from the future, please say hello and tell me where you're from, and tell me which one you like the best. Do you like the one with the two colours or just the one colour? Which card is your favourite? I would love to know. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.